What's going on, everybody? My name is Stephen Coons, and I am the host of the Everyday Pursuit podcast. Welcome. This one's going to be short, but this one's going to be fiery, so don't go anywhere, especially if you're feeling like you maybe lack a little bit of discipline or you have low confidence. So something that I've learned time and time again is I really think I found the key to be confident. And I'm going to kind of, I guess, tell you guys what I think confidence is. So I think confidence is just self-worth. Now, you could be confident in other things, but just general confidence, if you're like, hey, that guy's confident. Okay, well, let's just say some areas of life, okay? So I've talked about this in the past, but some 5 buckets of life. So you have like your fitness, finance, faith, friends, and family. Well, you could be confident in your faith. You could be confident in your fitness and your finances. You could be confident in your relationships too. Like I've seen men that are, with their wives and they're like, you could tell in the relationship, they don't feel super confident. So you could be confident in all those areas, but let's just talk about like probably the 3 things that most men kind of really seem like they like in public, you would say, well, that person's confident. And it usually comes down to like fitness and finances, right? Like the guy's good looking, has a nice body, drives a nice car. Now I know that's not just like the end all be all to happiness. And that's not something I personally necessarily strive for, but I understand that society kind of is like, oh, that guy's badass. Like if you ever heard of Andrew Tate, a lot of people are like, oh, he's awesome. He's good looking. He's ripped. He has all the money, he has all the girls, he has all the cars. Cool, if that's the life you want. But the thing is, he's really confident. Like if you look at Andrew Tate or you like know about him, if you don't, go look him up. Whether you like him or you don't like him or you agree with him morally or you don't, he's a very, very confident person. And the thing too about him is like he's worked really hard and he's really smart. And so not just because he has these things, he's confident because he's like, I've put in the work, right? And going away from him, just like how for me, an example is like, I am a pretty confident person. I've really never struggled with confidence ever, except at one point in my life. And that was probably right after my divorce. And I had about 6 months of drinking a lot and being lazy. And I did kind of start to get a little bit out of shape. I started to get a little belly. I was getting a little depressed. And I was asking myself, like, why you're usually like, think you're a good looking dude. And I was dating again. And I'm like, why do you like, where is that? Why do you lack self-confidence? And it was literally, I had this conversation with myself. I'm like, you felt good about yourself because you've always been a really, really hard worker. And so like, and this is regardless from how good looking you are, but this is just like how I carried myself. I'm like, I put in a lot of effort to my life, whether it is my hygiene or keeping my hair up or, keeping my teeth up or keeping my physical appearance up, keeping my health up, keeping my finances up as much as I can, like all these things. I'm just trying hard in all those areas of my life, all the 5 buckets of my life. And so I feel good. I feel like I feel very high self-worth because I want somebody else that puts in effort in those areas. I'm like, no, I'm putting in, as much effort as I can. I'm giving 100% in every area. Why would I settle for somebody that's not? Why would I do that? And so that's where the confidence comes. Confidence also, like low and high confidence, is an acceptance level. If you have low confidence, you accept less. You accept below your desired standard, your reality of desired standard. Like, I guess I'll take that job. I guess I'll date that person. I know they're not like this, but like, and you start making excuses like, yeah, but they're like really nice, when you know that you don't want that thing, but you don't feel like you could get better. So you're accepting less. When you're confident, you actually accept, you accept more. When you're confident, you accept less, right? In a good way. You have limits. You're like, nope, they have to have that. No, that job doesn't pay me enough. No, that friend is not good enough for me. Like they're being toxic or they're not helping me out or being a good friend. Bye. Like you're not scared to let things go that don't serve you because you're like, I'll just get another friend. I'll get another job. I'll find another relationship. Why? Because you're confident. Why are you confident? Because you've built it up. Like confidence is freaking earned. And it's self-worth. Like if you feel like you're worth less, you will accept so much shit in your life. And I have a friend that I'm not going to name, but uh, I don't really talk to him too much, but I knew him in high school. And this guy used to be so confident, such a confident dude. And I saw the person he ended up with and how he kind of like interacts with his friends and his family now. And this guy has lost so much confidence. He got out of shape. And I actually asked him, I'm like, dude, you used to be like the G, like what happened? And he said, he's like, dude, I think the worst thing I did was like stop going to the gym, eating like shit, drinking. I gained like 25 pounds and like it all went to like my face and my belly. And I like immediately like lost confidence. So I just ate more and then I gained like 30 pounds and it was like 35 and then like 40. And it just was like this downward spiral. So for him, it started with his fitness. And, you know, I think confidence is an overlooked cliche within the fitness industry. Like, oh, you make more confident, get more confident. Like, yeah, oh, everybody knows. Okay, but it's probably the most important thing. I think so. I think if you ever heard of like ego, right? And people think ego is a bad thing, like he's egotistical. Ego is just also it's your perceived of like who you are, your perception of who you are and how people perceive you. Like that's your ego. Now it's okay to actually have like um, your ego checked or death to ego. Like it's being like, who am I really? Right. And your ego is also built around how confident you are. I would say that those things are probably the most important thing because every decision you make, I'm not even kidding, every decision you make will be based on self worth. I do. I think if you think really highly of yourself, you respect yourself. And if you respect yourself and you actually do, you make decisions that also reflect you respecting yourself. Just like I've talked in the past, the be, do, have thing. You're going to do that. And what are those decisions? What is a respectful person, a person that respects himself? What decisions do they make? Well, I don't know. They're healthy. They treat their body nice. They probably get a good amount of sleep, probably don't abuse drugs or alcohol. They probably exercise. They probably put good things in their body, good food. Why? Because they value themselves. What kind of relationship do you think that person's going to have? They're probably going to pick somebody that has the same qualities, if not better, right? Or somebody at least pretty close. Why? Because why would you want somebody that's the opposite, right? If you feel like you're good looking, right? Which is, you know, a mix between confidence and self-worth. And you might be like, man, I was beaten with the ugly stick. Like, you're lucky. You're, you're a decent looking guy. And like, you don't understand. Okay, cool. But if you're ugly, if you're not good looking, do you think it's going to make you have a better chance also being out of shape? Hell no, right? Like at least have a good body, at least be in good shape. And it's not just about having a good body. It's about if you go to the gym and you put in work, you will carry yourself different. Have you ever seen an ugly person with a hot person? Yes, we all have. It's like the funny, it's to me, and maybe it sounds mean, but like it's almost funny because I'm like, you know, from a guy's perspective, I'm like, how did that guy get that girl? And a lot of guys will say, oh, it must be, you know, his money, or he must have a really good job or whatever. We make all these like super appropriate or inappropriate judgments and we don't know. And what I think it is though, is this guy, right? And I know there's, I know there's gold diggers and there's different things, but this guy's probably just super confident. Maybe he's confident in every single area. And I used to have a friend that was a little overweight, but really funny. Have you ever had like the funny fat friend? Okay. So this person was really basically the funny fat friend, but he was so confident in his comedy that he feel like he could get any girl, and he did. You know, this guy wasn't super good looking, but he was super funny, extremely charismatic, like the best time to be around. And he pulled chicks left and right because he just was like so comfortable with himself. Now, I understand you're like, well, how does this like apply to fitness? Well, it does and it doesn't. He found something that helped his confidence, right? Or like held on to the one thing that he knew, right? But that's all he had. That's all his cards. He's like, I'm funny and I'm charismatic. He didn't have anything else, which is okay. That's a great quality, great qualities. But But the thing is, if he would have also been in shape and also been good looking, bro, get out the way, right? Because he will, not only could he get a girl, but now he's going to be able to get a hotter girl and maybe a girl that's more successful or sweeter or nicer, like just a higher quality person that treats themselves better because he does. Like attracts like. Why do you think fit people hang out with fit people? Why do you think drug addicts hang out with drug addicts? Why do you think entrepreneurs and rich people hang out with rich people? It's not just because people try to cast out other people. I mean, maybe some people do, but people want to be around people that are like them. So if you're super confident, if you carry yourself like you're worth a freaking millions of dollars and you walk with your chest out, not being cocky, don't be a jerk, but like really confident. And I will say that and I've had people tell me like, you're cocky or whatever. I honestly don't feel cocky. I feel very confident in certain areas of my life. There's certain areas I'm like, damn, I don't know anything, or like that's an insecure area. I don't know a lot. I'm insecure about that, but I'm not an insecure person. I'm really confident. Why? Literally, all I can say is I've just been working hard like every day for as long as I can know. So when I am told, hey, this is going to be really hard, I'm like, okay, like I will outwork you. I will work longer. I will work harder. I'll literally die because maybe I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the best looking. I know I'm not in the best shape. But why do I know that? Like for my business, why do I know my business will continue to be successful? Number one, I'm never going to give up. Number two, I have a huge passion for what I do, and that drives me. And number three, I will work my ass off. I will do whatever it takes to help as many people as possible. To be sitting here recording these podcasts, I don't care. I will do what I will. And how do I know I will? Because I've told myself before, you will go to the gym, you will get in shape, you will eat this food. And we all tell ourselves we're going to, I'm going to start Monday, and we never follow through. And because we never follow through, we have low self-confidence. And because we have low self-confidence, because confidence is really like, do I believe? Okay, well, why the hell would you believe that you're going to do something when you tell yourself you're going to go to the freaking gym and you can't even do that? You can't even go 30 days without alcohol. You can't even make a commitment to yourself more than a week or a month or 6 months. So yeah, of course you have low confidence because you can't follow through with your own freaking promises to yourself. And low confidence means low self-worth. They're right there. And if you have low self-worth, you accept more shit from people. You accept the bottom of the barrel in every area of your life. Now, there might be one area where you're like, well, but there I put really high standards. Congratulations. Cool. You found one area. Why would you not want all areas? Why would you not want all those buckets of your life filled up to the top and have the most amazing life? I'm pretty sure everybody wants that, right? But it takes a lot of hard work. A lot. It's not easy. You have to show up every single day and get through the grind. But you know what? You get used to it. And I had a conversation with a college student or a client that's with us, that's a college student. And I said, how was your first year of school? Oh, it sucked. It was like so hard, blah, blah, blah. She's a junior. And I'm like, what about now? Oh, well, now it's not as hard. Like, I guess I'm just like used to it. I mean, it sucks, but like, it is what it is. Cool. That's like how fitness is. Not every day I want to go. It just kind of is. It's just like part of my life. And it's just something that I do. And it's not really a debate and it's not really a discussion. But I also know that when I'm having those big struggle days, I go, Stefan, if you go to the gym when you really don't want to, if you do it today, you gave yourself one more point. I'll literally like have these conversations in my head like a crazy person. I'm like, you give yourself another point. And even though it's 1 point, what if you had like 30 of those in a year? And you're like, well, what the hell is a point? I don't even know. I just like tell myself that. I'm like, you get a point. Well, a point towards confidence, a point towards making a step in the right direction, a point towards your goal of wanting to do the splits or want to be in better shape or want to have better abs, a goal towards, or a point towards setting your example for your clients. Like you just get a point. You can put it whatever you want. You're just like one step further. That's what the point is to me. If you don't, you actually probably lose more than 1 point because you're going to go through and you're going to now my confidence drops because I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Another voice in my head, are you? You said that. You said that on Friday, and you had, you had time to go because and you didn't go. No, no, I'm going to go today. And then what happens if you don't go again? And Tuesday rolls around. You're like, man, I'm going to go. And then the other voice is like, man, you already missed 2 days. You know what I mean? Like it just takes away. It takes away more than you get. So that's why consistency is super important. And I'm not even going to really dive into that and get on that tangent, but that's why just like showing up every day and putting in the work is just like the only thing you need to do. And confidence is earned. Confidence is 100% earned. Yeah, there's people that are just born looking like freaking models and whatever, and they maybe have more confidence in that area, and those are the cards they're dealt, and congratulations, right? But at the same time, like for the vast majority of us that are pretty normal people, we have to work hard at having a great physique. We have to at least like upkeep ourselves and have good hygiene and dress nice and, show up to work presentable and work hard at work, like, do these things. But you're never, ever, 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 ever going to be confident and have self-worth if you don't put in the work. And it is so pertinent. If you're struggling with confidence issues, because I think almost everybody that we've brought in our program at some point, I mean, even me, right, has struggled with confidence issues. But if it's like a real struggle for you, you better start doing something about it. It doesn't just get better. And the affirmations you tell yourself in the mirror and the journaling, I'm not saying it doesn't help at all, but that I don't think is going to solve the problem. The reason you're having to tell yourself, I'm worthy and I feel good. Why don't you just think like, why do you have to force yourself to think that? You don't just think that? Well, no. Why? Why don't you think that? Why don't you feel like you're worthy? Why don't you feel like you're a badass? Why don't you feel like you're sexy or attractive? Why don't you feel like you're worth the top notch and the top dollar and the best job? Why don't you feel like that? I know why. And some of it could be from like past trauma and abusive relationships and all that. And I do totally understand that. But most of it comes from people not putting in the work. And guess what? If you had past toxic relationships and trauma and all this stuff, and the person shit on you and you have really low confidence because of that, cool. Now it's your job to go to therapy, to work through those things, to read books, to heal yourself. That's your responsibility, which is also work. It's also work. And if you showed up every day and you did the journaling and you went to therapy and you read the books and you healed yourself, you'd be like, I'm a badass. I'm confident. I overcame that. I recovered. I'm worth more. You don't go back in a freaking toxic relationship. Do you know when you go back in a toxic relationship? When you didn't do the work. You're just like, oh, poor me, on to the next one. You didn't do the work to heal. So guess what? You have lower confidence. You have low self-worth and you accept more shit. It is literally a never-ending cycle. And it's with every area of your life. And the avoidance of work is what is making you lack confidence. I promise you, if you just put in the work, the confidence will come. You will feel like you're worth more and you will demand more in every area of your life from the entire world.